Good morning, welcome to Morning Outlook. This is Kim speaking on Wednesday the 7th of August. So looking at the Eurodollar first and what we got lined up here then. Well, yesterday was pretty much as expected after that really big shove up there. It ran out of legs basically. It pushed up through the Asian session and then sold off through most of the London session with a little blip there and pretty much to the target that I thought it might get to. What for today then? Well, looking at where we are now, it looks like it might push off, it come off further. We'll see. It's right into its 60-minute 50 at the moment. If it breaks this 60-minute 50, maybe we'll have a run down to its daily S1 or yesterday's lows is around about the same price levels. Maybe where it's headed for. There's little to suggest otherwise. I'm just looking. So there's little to suggest otherwise at the moment. It's looking a little bit soft. It had a sort of an early reaction to the 50 last time, and just went through its daily pivot a little bit there. Not too much kicking in, so we'll see how if it breaks this 50 post 8 o'clock here. Right, may look for a trade down. It is the range of it, or the target's not massive though. We're sitting there at 62. It's not. It's about 30 pips, so 36 pips. Maybe it's got enough in it to let me get a trigger. So that's a possibility there to the downside. If it sets cable, let's just have a look at cable then. Good. Right, so cable, yesterday I talked about this in the room. It wasn't in the room at all. It was in the morning outlook about the orders that were sitting above price. In fact, I did a little screenshot of it, but I can't find it for a second. It's typical. But what we saw there was that those orders taken out. In fact, when I come down, I'll show you a bit more precise. But what we saw it run through into that monthly pivot, and that was the weekly even. That was the sort of ultimate of what I was expecting, and now it's a case of, well, is it going to break down as well? If you're looking at this, it's sort of bearish, sort of a little slightly rising trend here that it's in, but it looks like it's about to fall out the bottom. We'll see. But yesterday it was running. 8 o'clock came. It just broke through the prior highs there. We were all just sitting up around this area here, right through to just a bit beyond. Actually, I think it was right. Where was it? I can't even remember. It's slightly beyond yesterday's highs there, the previous day's highs rather. But that got taken out quite quickly, and it pushed up a little bit further, pulled back a bit, and then eventually ran up into that 60-minute weekly pivot. It was in the end. So and it's retested that through yesterday afternoon, and never managed to push on, which suggests a bit of weakness, particularly with the candle that we saw there. And now it's trying with these higher lows, but and it's got slightly higher highs in here, but it's so sluggish. I'm just wondering whether we'll see a breakout this morning, a breakdown. We'll have to watch that carefully, but there's possible further downside there. I was just having a look at the order book, and in fact I'll bring this back in for you today as well. Hopefully you can see that okay. And I was looking at all these sell orders sitting below here this morning. Now I'll just give it a little while. It's not got a lot of resistance above it, so if it does start pushing up, well, it may just run away from these. But this may be we may see those orders run for. I just should just bring euro in just for and that too has a small number. Well, I say small number. There's a net sell orders sitting just below price. It's having a peek at them just now, but there are sell orders sitting down there as well, so it might just draw the markets down. We'll see. So they don't always follow through, so just bear that in mind. But it worked nicely yesterday, and they often do work quite nicely, but sometimes there's too much bullishness or bearishness and they just don't come from it. But for the dollar yen here, then it's just come out to the dailies, looking what's going on here. So yesterday pitched up, pulled back in the end, but slow old day and another consolidation sort of phase really. I was looking to see whether I should be selling into it, but it didn't really give me any great confidence in that. I mean, for the most of the day, I mentioned it yesterday when I was recording how little it's been moving, and it was pretty much the same. And we got very little news out. We've had some data from New Zealand, the Reserve Bank of New Zealand interest rate cut. But aside of that, today we've got one speaker, Evans, speaking at 2:30. Actually, and then we've got the Reserve Bank of Australia governor speaking right at 10:30 this evening. Well, won't be around for that then. Nicely tucked up. Okay, so dollar yen, not really anything I like on that at the moment, and I think we could just end up in much of the same. It is the holidays after all, the holiday markets. Summer markets can be a bit thin, but we're still getting some half decent moves out of them. Aussie dollar sold off, and probably a bit of a reflection of what's going on with the New Zealand dollar there, but continuing in that trap down. It just hasn't pulled up far enough for me to get into a little swing to the short side on here, but recently I would have quite liked to have grabbed a short, but it's gone through the Asian session there as well there, so not a lot there. I will just go straight to the New Zealand dollar just on the 60-minute there, and there's the reaction. This is a reaction to an additional 0.25%. They expected a 0.25%, and we had a 0.5% cut, and this is what we're seeing the reaction of. Now we may get a bit of a retrace into that, because sometimes when you get this sort of action, you'll see people take profit taking, and it may give an opportunity to sell it some more, but it is into sort of some key support at the moment, and it may be worthwhile just waiting to see if it pulls back a little bit further. There may be an opportunity to go with, but it's possibly a bit late where it sits at the moment. It does need to retrace some. So certainly weakness in the New Zealand dollar, but if you're looking at the cross pairs, well, it may again, with the patience, give a half decent trade there somewhere. Canadian dollar, I should say in these morning outlooks, I don't often go into cross pairs. I do look at them if I'm asked in our trading room, and I will look at them. Now the Canadian dollars, it spoilt what was setting up. When I was looking at it yesterday morning, it was sort of looking like, well, it could break down. There's sort of this big bear flag sort of thing, but it's not going to happen, is it? It looks like it's just going to continue softening here, pushing up there at the moment. It's just looking through here, 4 hourly wise, high lows, high highs. To really, I don't want to be standing in front of that train. It's pushing on through. Today, well, yep, it's certainly got a chance of getting back towards that daily pivot. It did extend quite a long way through yesterday afternoon there, but do I fancy it at the moment? Not really. Maybe later on, if it starts breaking down, it may give an opportunity. But for now, I'd really rather be on the long side of this. As it sits, although the Canadian dollar is one of the stronger pairs from a fundamental point of view, from a sentiment point of view, it's a bit stronger, but we'll see. Right, maybe best left alone. So today, just to confirm, New Zealand data, that's already out. Press conference happened 4 AM this morning, the press conference. If you were up for it, well done. You might need some sleep soon. For the others, well, we've got 2:30, we've got a Fed speaker, and that's it. So I wish you a great day. I'll speak to you later. Bye for now.